This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Previously on 1000, I've had an idea in the back of my head to create a custom deck of art playing cards. I told you guys I wanted to make this a collaborative effort, and let me tell you, it's a little bit hard to collaborate with 67,000 people. Clearly these cards are primarily for art, but there are some playability issues.
Probably the most important part of your deck, because this is how people are going to see it on the shelf in their hands. This is what's going to represent your deck.
I should have maybe put a little bit more thought into the playability. This whole middle section just seems really busy and confusing and clustered. Oh, jeez. Jeez, oh Pete's. These cards, man. They're gonna be the death of me. We back, baby. Playing cards, man. I think they've taken over my life. Well, video number 2 came out and you guys gave me a lot more comments. So, let's review. First thing we're taking a look at is that I did a portrait version on the last video, I did a symmetrical version on the last video, and it seems like most of you agree with me that the portrait version is better. That's good news, I'm happy to hear about that. Next up, hold on, I can't move in this thing. It was fun while it lasted. Ah, that's better. Okay, the 10 uniform. So some of you were saying the clubs and the hearts are too similar to each other upon first glance. Some of you were saying, hey, you know, why don't you make all the clubs have the same skin color and all the hearts have the same skin color? And I can totally see where you're coming from on that. But for me personally, having all the different skin colors kind of plays into my story as an artist. You know, in my family, there's white folks. My dad's whole side of the family is from Colombia, so there's like Latino folks. There's African Americans in my family. There's a bunch of different types of people in my family, and I'm sure that's the same for a lot of families out there. So I don't really want to have it be like, okay, the clubs are all like orange skin tone and the hearts are all blue skin tones. I want it to be all mixed up because that kind of plays into my story as an artist. So that's what I'm thinking on that one. But some of you other folks were saying, hey, you know, instead of having them all have black backgrounds, for instance, why don't the hearts and the diamonds have that kind of reddish, orangish background? And I said, this is interesting. This is why it's so cool to collaborate with all you folks, and I really want to try this out. If I take this and make it white, and then this background rectangle, orange. Ooh, interesting. Do we like it? Do we dislike it? It definitely differentiates it from the clubs. We could also try the stripe. We make orange. Couple different options. I think I'm gonna put a poll out on my community tab right now. You guys can go vote on the orange backgrounds, the orange stripe background, keep it how it was with the black. Decisions. Now, one other thing that you guys were commenting me about is that like this little pip and indice with the K and the club symbol and this one are different sizes. You got the big one up top, you got the small one at the bottom. I thought that was kind of a cool like design decision, but some of you were saying that when you're kind of holding them, like that was a big one and that was a small one, it would drive you OCD people crazy. I get that. I'll work on that. We'll make that better. Something else you guys were mentioning is that this inner black rectangle, you were saying it'd be cool if it was like a rounded rectangle. When I did my initial designs, I tried that out. If you actually look at like one of these playing cards, this is a rounded rectangle, but then there's a rectangle within the rectangle. Hard right angle, baby. If it's good enough for Bicycle, it's good enough for me. That's it for like the major change. Oh, there was one other suggestion that you guys made for the Ace of Spades, which is like, oh, chef's kiss. I never would have thought of that on my own, but we'll get to that when we get to the Ace of Spades. But with all that long-windedness being said, I think it's time for me to design my next suit of cards on the crazy epic saga of the 1000 custom playing card deck. Here we go. On each of the suits of cards, I see them as having a loose theme. The hearts obviously love, whether that be romantic love, seduction, or even using love as a weapon to gain power. The clubs I see as my warriors, my fighters. But with diamonds, my mind immediately goes to riches. And I think one of the greatest riches in our world is stories. Stories are the way that we communicate with each other. Stories are the way that we connect to each other. And even in my art career, once that I created a YouTube channel and started started sharing the story of my artwork, that's when things began to flourish. So stories are my riches. I'm struggling so hard on this Jack of Diamonds right now. I just feel like every decision that I'm making is like the total wrong one. It's so frustrating when you have like a vision inside of your head and just the art won't cooperate. Oh man, like, do I just delete it now? Like, or do I keep pushing it, keep working on it till maybe, hopefully it'll turn into something good? I've already spent like 2 days working on this Jack, but I think I'm finally to a place where I'm starting to get happy with it. I'm obsessed with stories. When I make my art, I listen to audiobooks and podcasts of people telling me their stories so I can drift away into the world of the story and drift away into the world of my art. I hope as an artist, each one of my pieces tells a story and each person can put their own unique story onto this image that I've created. Right now, I'm kind of just doing an internet deep dive on ancient stories that I could use for my Queen of Diamonds. On this suit of cards, I wanted to go with stories that mean something to me, epic stories that we all know. I think the myths and legends and fairy tales that I picked for these cards are pretty obvious, so I'll leave it up to you guys to figure out what exactly they are. But if diamonds are the suit of riches, the riches that I want to portray are the stories that connect us all. Okay. The Jack of Diamonds and the Queen of Diamonds are pretty much complete for now. So let's take a look at what we got. Here we have the Jack of Diamonds. Man, why was this card so freaking difficult for me to draw? It was like, draw something, erase it, draw something, erase it. But I got it to a point where, you know, I'm pretty happy with it. You can see here on this card, the pip of the diamond is a custom pip. You know, my Watcher character that I've used for a decade now is the shape of a diamond, so I was like, ooh, that's too perfect. Gotta throw that in there. The Watcher is kind of the wise spirit of the world inside my head. The mask he wears makes him look like crazy or sad or super excited to match in with the crazy world around him, but really he's using that mask to hide his true power, which is his wisdom, which is represented by that sort of eye that he's got going on his head. But that's my Jack of Diamonds, and then my Queen of Diamonds is right here. Ooh, definitely feeling this one. Got a lot of cool little details in there relating to the story that I'm trying to tell. You guys are gonna have to figure out what those stories are on your own. As this project keeps going and going, I'm getting like more and more excited to release these cards. And you know, as the project keeps getting like bigger and bigger in my head, it also becomes like more and more overwhelming. Each new card I approach, I'm like, oh man, you know, like it's gotta be better than the last one. It's gotta be cool enough to fit in this project. Starting a drawing is the hardest thing. Like I'll spend like 4 hours like starting a drawing, and then once that I have something cool, then it just like the floodgates open up and I just like blam, like adding all the fun little details and cool things. But I still have the King of Diamonds and the Ace of Diamonds to do. I'm just about to jump into those. But first I gotta let you know that this video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one dynamic platform to help you build a beautiful website, whether you're an artist, designer, filmmaker, or you make sweet suit jackets out of playing cards. You can build a beautiful website. With Squarespace, it's never been easier. You just take your amazing content, drop it into their beautiful, award-winning templates, and boom, you got a website. I've been using Squarespace for years and years for my website, 1000art.com. It's where I got my online shop, my artist portfolio, and all that sweet stuff that says, hey, I'm a pro artist. Look at my pro website. But you know your boy's too busy drawing pictures and making dumb videos to ever learn HTML or coding. With Squarespace, you don't have to do any of that. It's super simple, super easy. But if you do run into any issues, they also have 24/7 customer support. So what are you waiting for, y'all? It's time to have a beautiful website. Go to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, go to squarespace.com/1000 for 10% off the first purchase of a website or domain. Oh, thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. All right, y'all, I got a couple more diamonds to draw. Let's get back into this thing. When I started on the King of Diamonds, I found this story of like this dragon king of the sea, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I worked on it for a long time, but then I was like, how does this connect to my story as an artist? And then I realized there is no connection. This isn't right for the project. So I did one of my most dreaded activities. I trashed everything and started over. Why is every card in the diamonds like so difficult for me? I've been working on the King of Diamonds for like 2 days now. So far, I've been doing like 1 card per day. This suit is the hardest one yet. I'm not just going straight up like all my decisions. I'm trying to base it off of other things. Can't get them riches without putting in the work. So I guess I'll just keep going. went back to the drawing board and searched for a folklore or a legend or a fairy tale that I had more of a personal connection with.
I would highly suggest something personal, something that speaks maybe to you or to your audience, or maybe just anything you want to incorporate that you want to share with your audience.
This project certainly has its own set of challenges, and there's lots of areas where I have to dig deeper and learn more and do research. But honestly, this is one of the most fun and exciting projects I've worked on in a long time. I definitely like to save the ace till the very end. I don't know why, but the character cards are so difficult. The ace is just fun. Like, I already know what shape it's gonna be, and I just kind of get to go wild on it. The part that makes this project so crazy is the level of collaboration that's going on with you guys. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know a lot of other artists who would just like let people decide on what the final output of the art is gonna be. And I know for me, it's like really hard to relinquish that creative control. But ultimately, doing it this way, in this format, is making the project so much better. All right, I have finally finished the diamonds. It has been a saga. Was this the hardest suit yet? Yes. Am I happy with how it came out? Also yes. Let's take a look. Here is my King of Diamonds. Oh baby, what do you guys think of that one? Quite the epic king. And then we have our Ace of Diamonds. Took my Watcher character, kept with that super crazy Ace mashup art vibe. This time's a little different. Just the mask of the Watcher has all the doodles in it. Before, with the Ace of Clubs and the Ace of Hearts, I did like the entire pip. Also in the comments of the last video, someone mentioned, bro, like you gotta go crazy on the 10 cards. You're 1000. And I'm like,
Oh, that's a really good idea.
why am I not thinking of these things? So let's see. I made some special 10s while you guys weren't watching. This is the 10 of clubs. That's the 10 of diamonds. There's the 10 of hearts. And here is the 10 of spades, the first spade card that we've done so far. These cards are really starting to look cool. Let me know what you guys think of those custom 10 cards. That's definitely something that's gonna make my deck a little something extra special. Like, who's got the little extra saucy spiciness on the 10 cards? Your boy 10 Hunt, of course. I still have the spade face cards to do. I still have the jokers to do. I have the ad cards to do. We need to figure out if I should keep, you know, like the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, like a little bit more normal to make the face cards stand out. Is there something that I can do on those number cards to make them special but not make them like outshine the face cards? You guys should definitely let me know that down in the comments. There's gonna be a poll or two over on my community tab, definitely about the backgrounds, maybe about some other stuff if I think of it, but I'm starting to get pretty dang excited about this deck. Lots of things to think about. This project is really coming together. Thank you guys so much for collaborating with me on this. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I haven't shouted out my merch in a while. Go to 1000art.com, check out my merch. I got t-shirts and hats and hoodies and long sleeves and freaking prints and stickers and all kinds of sweet stuff over there. And a huge, gigantic thank you to my patrons. You guys, coolest people on the internet. I say it once, I say it again. Look at these beautiful names going by on the side of the screen right now. Patrons, you're the best. Playing cards. Video 3, we done. See you soon. The project continues. I'm 1000. Peace.